Hey guys, this is the second video to lesson 2.2 reflections. So we are starting off kind of where we left off in the last video, where we're looking at a new key idea for this lesson, still working with reflections, but now we're not necessarily going to be reflecting across the X or Y axis, okay? So this is kind of an introduction to reflecting across a different line, and this isn't something that we'll go super in depth in, but it is still an important concept that you will need to know for future classes, okay? And we will see more of this in a chapter in the future, okay? So first thing here, let's take a look at this reflecting figures key idea. So if we're reflecting in a horizontal or vertical line, okay, notice that this time it's not saying on an axis, but it is still a horizontal or vertical line that we are reflecting across, okay? So it's not necessarily the axis this time. To reflect a figure in a horizontal or vertical line, if you don't know those directions, maybe you can kind of draw that above each line. You will plot the image, remember that's the new one, of each point on the opposite side of the line. Okay, so we're taking it from where it was and putting it on the opposite side so that the point, the original one, and the new one are the same distance from the line. Okay. So this is the key idea here. What we're going to do is we're going to flip it, but we're not worried about a rule here, okay? So underneath of here, I need you to write that the rule does not apply. So we're not going to be looking back at that first page at the rule and seeing is it the opposite of X, the opposite of Y. Now what we're doing here is we are literally just counting, okay? How far from the line is it on like the left side? And then now we're making it that far on the right side. Or how far from the line is it below? And we're making it that same distance above, okay? So this is a pretty simple concept as long as you are counting correctly, okay? So let's take a look at the top of the next page where we see that first example. Give me a second here to get that pulled up. Sorry. All right, so first example, reflecting figures in a horizontal or vertical line. I also have written here that the rule no longer applies. So maybe you could write that on the top of your page, but let's look at this example, okay? The vertices of a triangle are A, B, and C. Draw the figure and its reflection. Remember, I don't like the word in, across the line y equals -1. Now, I'm not concerned with you knowing what is y equals -1 right now. Okay, I've already given you that line. It's here, and I've labeled it for you. So this is y equals -1. But now what we're doing is we are counting how far each of these points is away from the line, and we're going to keep them the same distance but put them on the opposite side, okay? So let's look at the first one, and then we're also going to be reflecting it across a different line, which I have over here for you, okay? So this kind of is already guiding you to what's going on. So we need to plot the points. That's step one, plot the points, okay? So -2, -2. We're gonna start in the center and go left 2 and down 2. Okay, this is point A. Then we need -2, -4. This is point B. I shouldn't have labeled that first one prime, it's just A. Okay, and then we need -4, -4. So that is our point C. So here is our triangle. I'm just gonna get rid of that A and move it right here. Okay, so I've got A, B, and C. This is my original triangle, but now what I need is I need to count the distance of each of those from the line, okay? So over here it's telling you point A is 1 unit below the line, okay? So take a look at this. Point A is just 1 space below the line, okay? So now what I need to do is plot A prime 1 above the line, okay? So I'm reflecting just by counting distances here, okay? There is something that you would have learned, or you will learn, sorry, in a future class where there is a formula for this. It's called the distance formula. We are not doing that in this class. We've not been introduced to it yet, so you will be introduced to that in a future class, okay? So right now we're just counting. So it's 1 below. Now we're going to make it 1 above. So here's my line, okay? I literally just need to take this point, and instead of being 1 below, I'm moving it 1 above. Okay, so it's right here on this new line. I label that A prime. Okay, notice that it already tells you that the point for A prime is -2, 0. So if we take a look at that, we're starting in the center, left 2, that's -2, and I'm not moving up or down for my second amount, so that makes it 0. Okay, so that point is correct. Then it says, points B and C are 3 below the line, so we're going to plot B prime and C prime 3 above the line. So take a look at that, okay? Point B, we've got 1, 2, 3. It's 3 below this line, okay? This y = 1 line. So now I'm going to start at that line, okay, in the same kind of vertical point here. And I'm going to plot that, okay? So I've got, 3 below. I'm going to start the line and go 1, 2, 3 above, and that's my new B prime. Then I'm going to do the same thing for C. I'm starting right where I'm at. It's 1, 2, 3 below. Okay, do you see that? So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 above. And that's my C prime. And we will connect those. And now you see that it's the same triangle, same size, same shape, but it's been reflected across this y = 1 line, okay? Take a look at the points. B prime should be -2, 2. We should go left 2 and up 2, okay? And that's our point. C prime is -4, 2. So we should go left 4 and up 2 to get to that point, and we do. So those are the new points, okay? It says, what are the coordinates of the image? Well, here they are for the first part. Okay, but now we have to do the same kind of reflection with those same points across a different line. So this line here is called the x = -1 line. The reason this is called x = -1 is because this line is made up of a bunch of points, okay? And the coordinates, or the ordered pairs for every single one of these points that makes up this line, every single one of them has an x of -1 and then some sort of y. Okay, that's why it's called x = -1. Same idea over here with the y = -1. There's a bunch of points making up this line that are all connected together, and every single y on that line is -1. The x is anything we want it to be, okay, but the y is always -1. That's why it's called that, okay? So here we go. We're going to do the same points. We need to plot A, B, and C. So A is -2, -2. B is -2, -4. And C is -4, -4. So here is our original, or our figure. And what we need to do is count the distances that it is away from the line, okay? So if we look at point A, it is 1 unit to the left of that line, okay? It's 1 left. I'm gonna write that down. A is 1 left. So now A prime is 1 right. Okay, so here's my line. I'm gonna take that A prime and move it 1 to the right of the line. So then it's right here, okay? So my A prime, I'll list it up here. A prime, B prime, and C prime. This is what we've got here. A prime is now, if we look at that point, 1, -2. 1, -2, okay? B prime, if we look at that, I'm going to write it over here again. B is 1 to the left of the line. So now B prime is 1 to the right. Okay, so we started our line. It was 1 to the left. Now I'm moving it 1 to the right. Okay, so B prime is now going to be 1, -4. And then C prime is 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. I know those spaces and lines are hard to see, okay, but it's 1, 2, 3 to the left. So now I'm going to make it 3 to the right. So start at the line and then count 2, 3. And then we've got our new point. Sorry, my son is standing here behind me hitting me. B prime and C prime. So C is, we've got 2, -4. 2, -4. Okay? And that's it. So we're just counting the distances, okay? Oh, and I forgot to write that down. C is 3 left. So now C prime is 3 right. Okay? And there we go. So now what I want you to do is try it. I know that's kind of not a lot of practice before you get to try it, but I want you to try it. So now what it's giving you is the points A, B, and C. Okay, here they are. You need to start by plotting those. Hopefully you can see these lines a little bit better. And then you are reflecting it across the y = 3 line. So I've given that to you here. And the x = 3 line, which I have also given to you here. Remember to count the distances and then move them the same distance but on the opposite side of the line. So please at this point pause the video and then go through it yourself and come back and check your work in a minute, okay? It's going to take me a minute or two through this video to write it all down and answer it, so you might have to kind of skip through just a little bit, okay? But please pause first and try it on your own. All right, 4, 5. That's A. B is 4, 8. And C is 7, 8. So sorry about the background noise. So here is our original. And now we need to reflect it across the line. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the last one. I'm going to say A is, let's count its distance from the line, 1, 2 above. Okay, so A prime should be 2 below the line. So let's start at the line and go down 1, 2, and there is A prime. Okay, B is, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above the line. So 5 above. And from there, we need to make B prime 5 below the line. Okay, so start at the line and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below, and that is 5 below is your new B prime, okay? And then let's look at C. C is, start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C is 5 above. So now it needs to be 5 below. Okay, so let's count that. So start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here is our C prime. So A, B, and C. So here's our original, here's our new. It's been reflected across this line instead of the axis line, okay? But you can tell that it's been reflected across that line, I hope. Now we need to, I guess it doesn't ask for the new points. It does just say to draw the figure. I'm going to go ahead and list those here, A, B, and C prime. A prime is, looks like 4, 1. B prime is 4, -2. And C prime is, let's go with 7, -2. Good. Okay, so notice that they're still similar as far as the X or Y. Okay, in our original points, we had 4, 4, and 7. And here for our X's, we still have 4, 4, and 7. But now what has changed is the Y value. Okay, so it's still along the same vertical spot, but it's not the same horizontal spot, okay? All right, here's the next one. So same idea, we have the same points here. We've got 4, 5, and then 4, 8, and 7, 8. These are our points, A, B, and C. So now we're looking at how they compare to this x equals 3 line. Okay, currently A is, I probably shouldn't be writing it here. 3, nope, sorry, 1 right. So now A prime needs to be 1 left. If you hear that noise in the background, that is my son dumping out the dog food bowl. Oh, I will get to that in just a second. Let's finish this problem and then we're done. Okay, I'm going to write the rest of it down here. So B is, if you look at B, it is 1 to the right. So 1 right. Now B prime will need to be 1 left. Okay, and then C is, let's count its distance, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. C is 4 right. So now C prime should be 4 left of the line. So let's get those on there. Let's start at A. Currently it's 1 to the right. Now it needs to be 1 to the left. Okay. B is 1 to the right, so it needs to be 1 to the left. B prime. C is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so now it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. And here are our new ones. Here's the original, here's the new, okay? If we want to, we can write down those new points, A, B, and C. A prime is now at 2, 5. 2, 5. B prime is at 2, 8. C prime is at negative 1, 8. So in this case, we should notice that the y's are the same. They're along the same horizontal line this time, but they are not along the same vertical lines. They have the same y, but different x's. And take a look at that, okay? Over here, the y was 5, 8, and 8. And if we look over here, we still have 5, 8, and 8. So those stay the same because we're along the same horizontal line. Okay, so this is the remainder of the 2.2 lesson. Now what you have is the homework. So you can go ahead and log in and get that homework situated. I assume that we will go over this in class if we need to. You can always email me if you have questions. And that's it, okay? So this is it for reflections in 2.2.